The study of a design is a complex and delicate creative process, but preparing the executive file for printing is even more so. Knowing how to properly examine a file from the point of view of the prepress can prove to be very useful to avoid running into unpleasant misunderstandings during the printing phase. The moment of executives, or rather the preparation of print files, is the one most feared by every graphic designer and printer. In this phase, many questions arise and a little bit of anxiety is felt. Even if you are sure of the work done, the fear of having something wrong never leaves you, and until you see the finished and printed work, you never breathe a sigh of relief. Even the best graphic designer can sin from a prepress point of view. It requires specific technical skills that go beyond the creative ones. Going to print and not getting the desired result is frustrating, but it is even more so if this is due to an oversight in the print file, which could have been easily avoided and corrected. To help you in this, our team has decided to reveal to you what are the most common errors we encounter in print files. Knowing them will allow you to verify the correctness of your digital file before sending it to us or your printers. Let's find out what they are together. Number 1. Do not convert the file to CMYK. When creating the file, you must take care to set the right color method for printing. That is the CMYK method that allows you to manage 4-color and Pantone colors without entering color profiles. Sending a print with an RGB color profile is perhaps the most common mistake made, one of those things to which little attention is paid but which represents a terrible forgetfulness. What you see on the monitor never matches what is printed. In fact, for the definition of colors, you cannot rely 100% on your screen, even if it is perfectly calibrated. If you want to verify their performance, our advice is to request a printing proof to have a true reference. If you find that you haven't worked with the CMYK profile from the start, don't worry, you can convert to the correct color profile at any time with many softwares. The important thing is to remember to do it before sending the executive to verify that all the colors correspond to those you have chosen in your graphics. We can help you convert your file. If we receive files in RGB, we will convert them automatically to go to print, but the colors can vary considerably if you switch from one color method to another. So, to avoid surprises, it is better that you do it from the start. Another mistake is to do not include the bleed. Another beginner's mistake is not to enter the excess of the safety margin for cutting and die cutting. Although our cutting machines are extremely precise, there is a very small margin of error that can occur and which can lead to annoying consequences. If you don't add enough abundance, the die-cutted final product will have a slight white border all around. This does not happen if you have a completely white background in that case. Inserting a safety margin consists in extending the color, graphics or background image beyond the edges of the cutting die on each side of the label. The minimum we require is approximately 2 mm or 0.1 inches. The bleed ensures that the entire background is printed and not cut off during production. For example, if you want a print of a 50 per 50 mm labels, the background must be at least 54 per 54 mm. Another mistake is to not respect the safe zone. As mentioned earlier, a slight margin of error in the cut is possible. For this reason, important elements of the graphics, such as text, must not be positioned too close to the edges, because in the cutting phase there may be slight deviations which could also cause the latter to be cut. For this not to occur, it is important to respect the safe area of the printing and to consider at least 1 mm or 0.0625 inches of margin on each side of the label. For example, if you want to print a 50 per 50 mm label or 2 inches per 2 inches, the safe area will be within 48 and 48 mm inside the die cut. Another mistake, upload a low resolution file. An optimal print file must be high resolution. What many do not know is that printing requires a minimum resolution, which is higher than that of a screen. Once printed, low-resolution images and graphics are blurred and pixelated. The typical resolution of 72 dpi dot per inch digital is therefore too low to guarantee an optimal printing resolution. To ensure that the images are of good quality, the minimum recommended resolution for printing is 300 dpi. So when you embed an image in your file or work in Photoshop or Illustrator, make sure all images have at least 300 dpi resolution. If you work with blackline images, however, they should have 1200 dpi resolution. Another tip to maintain the quality of your images, the recommended formats are .tiff or .psd Photoshop file. Also, always talking about images, if you work in Illustrator, all the images in your file should be embedded so as not to run into any display errors. Another mistake that some designers make is to do not outline fonts or not embed them in the file. The typographic element is a fundamental part of a graphic design. That said, it can often cause problems. The risk is that the text appears in a different font or changes in formatting when the file is opened from a computer other than the one that created it. The best way to get around this error is to convert all text to paths. When the characters are converted into paths, they are blocked because they become a real vector element of your graphic. By doing so, you can be sure that they remain unchanged. Another solution to this problem is to embed fonts in your executive file. Embed means that the font in the graphic is integrated into the file. This way, you're making sure that your draft looks the same for everyone, no matter what computer or software they will use. Another problem that can occur in a file is use the wrong black ink. But why? Are there more types of black? Well, the answer is yes. This is a very common mistake that even the most experienced graphic designers run into. There are two types of black: pure black, the one obtained with 100% K, the black of CMYK, or the black obtained with a combination of all the components of CMYK, which for example is 60% of cyan, 70% of magenta, 50% of yellow, and 90% of black. With pure black, more precise results are obtained, while the one in combination is used above all to achieve a more opaque and intense effect. The first is suitable for texts and all the other elements of a graphic design. In the case of larger surfaces, such as a background, the second can be evaluated if it is necessary to obtain a fuller black. In any case, where possible, it is always better to use pure black to have a cleaner result in printing. If we find texts or other elements in the file sent in black in combination, unless otherwise specified, this will be converted to 100% black to facilitate printing. Another mistake is to upload the file of the wrong size. You define the dimension of the printed product at the time of ordering. So make sure when sending the print file that you provide us with an executive that is paginated on the correct format, and in doing so, keep in mind these rules. Do not upload a file in PDF format. The best file format for sharing and printing is PDF. It is a widespread and universal cross-platform format. This means it can be opened and saved from virtually any platform or software, such as Adobe Illustrator, Adobe InDesign, Adobe Photoshop, or any software capable of printing a file, making it very accessible. I have some extra tips for you. Consider a level of opaque white only for printing on transparent and metallized packaging. If you choose to print on a transparent or metallic material, you will need to include a layer of white in your artwork file. The white level tells us which areas you want to be opaque or white and which areas you want to be transparent or metallic. Another tip, dare to ask. We are here on purpose. Read the tips and guidelines from printing carefully. We post every week blogs, videos, and you can reach us on our email, on our chat, and one of our technical guys and one of our technical members of our team will answer to you back. Another tip, try to print your executive. Make yourself a print test to see the effect of your file printed. By printing in actual size, you can verify that the text you entered are legible and not too small. The minimum font size we recommend is 4 points, but be careful, the measurements may vary from font to font. So check the lowercase o of your character is not less than 1 millimeter. Under that size, reading is difficult. I know that to err is human. Errors are on the agenda and careful preparation of drafts is essential to prevent them. My advice is to make sure your file is ready to print, and I hope these few tips can help you to do that. And again, don't worry, if you have more questions, you can leave them down in the comment section or you can reach us by our website. You will find it in the description. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos about packaging and design. I'm Stefano, and as always, love you all. Ciao!